You have seen the resume before you even open it. The name at the top does something to your brain. Harvard, Stanford, Oxford. Something shifts. You assume the person inside earned it through raw brilliance. But the real reason these schools keep winning has almost nothing to do with the students inside them. It has to do with a loop built so quietly that almost nobody notices it running. Here is the uncomfortable question. What if the school did not make the student exceptional at all? What if the student was already exceptional and the school just knew how to find them first? This is called a selection effect. Pick from a massive pool of already talented people, and whatever happens next looks impressive, even if the picking is doing most of the work. Imagine 2 baskets of apples. One basket, someone walked through an orchard and chose only the reddest, ripest apples. The other basket is random. Of course, the first basket looks better. Nobody grew anything special. Somebody just chose well. Elite universities work the same way. They are not laboratories that manufacture brilliance. They are filters. Economists Stacey Dale and Alan Kruger tested this directly. They studied students who got into elite schools but chose not to attend for financial or personal reasons, and compared their later earnings to students who did attend. The results surprised people. Students admitted to selective schools earned similar incomes later on, whether they enrolled there or not. The admission mattered more than the classroom. So why does the myth survive? Because the loop needs it. A school builds a reputation over decades. That reputation attracts the most prepared, most resourced applicants on earth. The school picks the best of an already extraordinary pool. Those students go on to do impressive things because they were already positioned to. Their success gets credited to the school. The reputation grows, and the cycle repeats. Notice what the loop does not require. It does not require the school to teach anything uniquely transformative. It only requires the school to recognize talent before anyone else gets to it. Sociologist Pierre Bourdieu described part of this decades ago. Families pass down more than money. They pass down comfort with the right vocabulary, the right references, the right way of presenting yourself. Elite schools detect that comfort easily, not because it reflects intelligence, because it reflects a code taught at home long before any application existed. The filtering happens years before senior year. Here's the twist. Economist Raj Chetty and his research team traced economic mobility using millions of tax records. The schools that moved the most lower-income students into the highest income brackets were rarely the most famous ones. Often they were mid-tier public universities that simply admitted more of those students and gave them real access. Prestige and impact are not the same thing. One signals who already had an advantage. The other creates one. So why does the name still win? Because a name is fast. An employer sorting through 500 resumes cannot evaluate 500 life stories. The brand sorts for them. Economist Michael Spence, who won a Nobel Prize for this idea, called it signaling. The diploma proves less about what you learned, and more that you survived an extremely selective filter. Think about how this feels from the inside. You compare acceptance letters, you compare job titles. You feel the weight of a system suggesting where you were let in determines who you are. But now you understand the mechanism differently. You are not competing against people made better by a building. You are competing against a filtering system that decided years earlier who counted as promising enough. That does not make effort meaningless. Talented people surrounded by other talented people push each other further. But the myth that the institution manufactures greatness collapses the moment you look closely at the data. So next time you scroll through a list of successful people and notice the same few school names again and again, you are not looking at superior teaching. You are looking at the output of an old, efficient filter, quietly deciding who gets picked before the real test of life even begins. You saw the resume before you opened it. Now you know why the name did most of the talking, long before the person ever did.